Welcome on this frosty Wednesday morning, wherever you are. It might not be frosty where you are, but it is where I am. And my backdrop is kind of like bringing a little bit of snowy time, winter time. So let's get into this message today and see what we have for you, shall we? So just take a moment, put your energy into what do you need to know today? What do you want to know today? What is on your mind right now? No way! Literally had this card yesterday. It's the Dream Thief, refusal of the call. So you could be part of the energy of who I was talking to yesterday, the video that I did yesterday, about this kind of like, you know that something needs to happen, but you're not quite ready to do it yet, or you're afraid to take that chance, to take that risk. There is this feeling of like secretiveness. So I feel like you're secretly trying to work something out, trying to plan something. It's not really going to plan. And when you dream about this or you fantasize about this, the bubble is burst by something. Almost like every time you come to it, the bubble is burst by it. Do you know, it's giving off the energy of like rose tinted glasses. So for instance, if you were, someone that's been in your life for a long time, I've heard people say this before about people that they're ending relationships with, where it's like you've got a version of that person in your mind and it's all the lovely things about them, it's all the best qualities. But then when you actually see them physically, or you go out with them physically, something happens or they do something that makes you be like, and there it is. That is why I've stepped away from this, or that is why I can't be around this person. Something about that where it's almost like your fantasy of this person is way better than the reality of this person. Let's get into what that's talking about. Now, it doesn't have to be about a person, actually. It could be to do with work or a job. It's almost like the thought of that job is like, yeah, this is going to be great. And then when you're there, you're like, I absolutely hate this. Now, there's something about communication, and I actually feel like this is coming through from Odin as like, you're not actually communicating yourself. You're not actually saying what it is that you want. It's almost like you have expectations within yourself. Things don't meet your expectations, but you don't say anything. You don't speak up about that. You just sort of either get the hump, or the communication comes out in a challenging way or a defensive way. Okay. And something may have happened recently where that's been the case, like where there could have been an argument that you've had with somebody, or an argument at work or something like that, where it's like you've really allowed yourself to show how you actually feel about something rather than keeping it a secret. Whereas I feel like before you may have kept it under your hat or kept it a secret. What you're learning in this process is that actually your needs are important, and you should trust yourself to be able to actually speak up and say what you need and what you want. And you're learning that, like, if you keep it a secret, if you harbour things and you never say anything, how can you expect anybody to really know how to deal with it or how to help you? So you're learning that. It's almost like maybe before you felt like people needed to just know what you needed and what you wanted without you having to communicate it, because it might have been embarrassing to communicate it, or you felt awkward about communicating it. I feel like you're the type of person that doesn't like asking for what they need or want. You may put yourself last in the queue for things and put other people first. Okay. If you're going through something right now, because I am feeling like maybe you've had an argument here with somebody, or there's a pattern that you keep bringing forward that you can't quite change, or you're struggling to change and you really like to. This temporary situation right now is kind of showing that, like, I feel over the past 3 months, possibly, you've been struggling with this particular pattern. And they're saying that, like, this is temporary. It's not going to be like this forever. But you may be feeling like really low, really down. But you actually feel like, for some of you, it's almost like you feel there's a reputation following you. Like you feel like people think a certain way about you and you can't seem to change that. And you're reviewing, like, what have I done in the past, or things that make people believe this about me or think this about me. Okay, we have ring. A marriage will take place, either romantic or business. Now, this is good news for you, because at the moment I feel like you don't feel very good in yourself. It's like you feel like you've got this reputation going on in the background, and it's through you not being able to really communicate the truth of things or how you really feel. You're learning to trust yourself in that way now. I feel like you're about to, that's what Haglaz is talking about. You're about to sort of shake things up by really bringing some home truths in. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and I do feel that this collective is split into two parts. So it's either, this is either your career or this is either a relationship, okay? It won't be both. It's one or the other, and you will know what it is for you. So this ring, for some of you, what's happening here is you kind of opening up this secret within you and just communicating how you're feeling. That, you know, it upsets you that people are talking about you behind your back, or that they're saying these things, or that you've got this kind of reputation. You're like, how did I manage to get this reputation? That's not fair. It's not actually even that true. So I feel like you're going to communicate things like that, and it's going to lead to some kind of commitment here. Now, this could be like in your workplace where you're sort of like, you know, I don't understand. People are saying that I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to do that, and I can show you exactly what I can do. And I feel like you do, and then they're like, right, you get the contract, that's it, you're in. It's like proving yourself, but you have to bring forward that communication and the truth of that communication. Now, this is to do with a relationship or somebody that perhaps you feel things haven't gone very well with. And again, that might be maybe you have doubts, so you step back, but someone's taken that as like, oh, you're playing around, or you're keeping your options open. I feel like there's a very honest communication coming with that, and it will lead to possibly marriage in the future, but at least commitment. Okay, so there's something going on in there with that for you. I'm actually going to get into the tarot cards now to look a little bit deeper into that, because right now I feel like you are feeling quite down. You're not sure how to get out of this situation, because I feel like, yeah, you know, words have been exchanged, but not truthfully. Like, you haven't brought forward the actual truth of things. Okay, and what's happening here is, so if someone has been accused, so say like if this is for yourself, if you've been accused of keeping your options open, say, you know, someone that wants to be in a relationship with you, or you're hearing that through the grapevine from other people, it's going to push you into, you contemplated about it, but now it's pushing you into, okay, well, I will prove to you, I'm coming in, I'm going to take this risk, I'm going to take this chance, and I'm getting rid of my options. I'm not going to have those options there. It's almost like you want to prove something here. Now, normally I would say to people, like, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. And if somebody asks you to prove yourself, then that to me stinks of they don't really trust you in the first place, if they feel like you need to prove something. So what is going on with this? I'm going to do that again. Kids picking up. Yeah, okay, so a secret is going to be revealed. It's almost like this has been something that you won't know about. Maybe you've had a feeling about, but you weren't quite sure of. So it's almost like you're going to get the truth of why a situation went the way it did, or what happened. But I'm seeing a lot of good stuff coming from this, with the ring showing there, and then the Six of Wands as well. So it's kind of showing that, you know, it is going to go in your favour. Things are going to go well. There is this, whether it's a job or relationship, there's this real like pull or drive towards it. Like, you can't leave it alone. Not obsessed, but just sort of wanting to be part of it. Now, there's something also about, perhaps people have said, especially if it's the workplace one, people may have told or said that you're quite manipulative, but it just is that you're very good at what you do, and you're good at managing people, you're good at delegating and things like that. And people kind of sometimes feel a little bit like it gets their ackles up to be around somebody like that, because they can't be like that themselves. So it's not actually an issue for you being like that, it's just that they're jealous. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. What else do we have for you on here? It feels good though, guys. It really does feel we have the devil coming through again. So yeah, this is heavily on your mind right now, of how people feel about you, or think that you're a bit dicey or a bit dodgy, a bit manipulative maybe, that kind of thing. So don't put your defences up around this. Just speak truthfully. Just keep being that way, because the truth always comes out, okay? And if you're just being yourself, So the truth will come out on this one and it will end the conflict. Drop me a DM if you want to book in a reading.